Hi, everybody. So today is Saturday. That means it's time for family movie night. And today we're continuing on with Classic Musical Month. And we're talking about one that I had actually never seen before. We're talking about Finian's Rainbow from 1968. This is based on a Broadway musical from 1947 and was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. And this is one of the strangest musicals I think I've ever seen. And look, I am not a woke, anti-woke person. I just try to judge things for what they are individually and not see it through such like a political lens. And I'm certainly not in favor of canceling things or whatever. That's just not me. But like I have to say, watching this, I was like, I don't know if this musical ever could get made again or if it ever should have been made at all. Like it's just so bizarre that I was just like, what am I watching? What is happening? This is so strange. Uh, I mean, it's interesting because on the surface, there are very sweet elements of it. And it has some nice songs that I'd heard before, but I had just never seen this musical, and I certainly had never seen this movie. And the Look to the Rainbow is, I think, the most famous song of this musical. But How Are Things in Glockamora, Old Devil Moon, you've certainly heard that. When I'm Not Near the Girl I Love, like that's one I've heard from time to time.
Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow it over the hill.
I would say that overall, all the performances are quite endearing. Fred Astaire is charming as Finian, and we have Tula Clark as Sharon. And evidently, I think this was one of her first film acting roles, and so she was pretty like nervous, but I think she's charming in the role. You have Tommy Steele as the leprechaun Og, and you have Dawn Franks as Woody Mahoney. So those are your main leads. And the thing looks beautiful. And I guess they built like this whole valley on the soundstage. I was reading that with like creek and with everything, like this whole valley, which I think is kind of cool. And if compared to Brigadoon, which feels very like studio, it doesn't have that like lived in kind of feel. I still like Brigadoon certainly more than this, but this I think does have a little bit more of a like cinematic, rich feel to it, and that's probably also partly from Francis Ford Coppola because he is a good director in creating beautiful looking films with his cinematographer. Philip H. Lathrop was the name of the cinematographer. And so there are some nice sequences and some beautiful music.
In Glockamara, is that little brook still leaping there?
This plot, it's just so crazy. You have this Finian who comes in with this crock of gold that he's stolen, and he's coming into this town, Rainbow Valley, and he's gonna bury it, and he's hoping that it'll like keep increasing and grow because of the magic of the crock of gold. But the crock of gold also is magic in the sense of it grants wishes. So that comes into play. His daughter Sharon is there with him, and Sharon falls for this guy Woody. And then Woody has a mute sister that's named Susan. So those are some of your characters. Well, there's this bad guy named Rockins who is a senator. He's super racist. He's trying to take the gold and not share it with the town and help the town. He wants it all for himself. He's just like totally a horrible person, Rockins. He says some racist things. And so Sharon wishes that he would turn into a black man in order for him to get a taste of his own medicine, I guess. And he does, and they blackface him, and he turns into a black man. And I was just like, what is this? Like, it was just so weird. I thought this plot was bizarre, and this is the plot from the musical. I mean, and it makes more sense when you figure that it was written in 1947. Like that makes a little bit more sense. But like I can't even imagine 1968 this movie came out. Like that was like a very tense time for something like this to come out is kind of crazy. And like the thing that's amazing to me is this show has been revived like fairly recently. It had a 2014 production in the West End. So I'm just like, what? How could they possibly do that in modern Broadway? I don't know. I mean, it's crazy, but they had 2009 at Lincoln Center. They had what? I, I mean, that's wild. I mean, and I guess like it is trying to say so. It's certainly it's actually not a racist film in the sense of like it's trying to be not racist and speaking out against this bigoted man who has to walk in the shoes of these people that he's condemning. But just I don't know. I just thought it was really strange. And like there's other ways that we can talk about these themes without blackface, without someone turning black, and like also just some of the cliches of what that means to be black, what it means to be white. It's just very awkward. And I was just, I had no idea that it was a part of this movie, like, or the show. I mean, I'd heard some of the songs, and I thought, oh, this would be fun one for family, classic musical month for family movie night. But I didn't really know anything about it as far as certainly not this plot element. And it was just handled so odd in this movie, especially when you have Fred Astaire as your lead, who was famously in blackface for Swing Time. And, and then also Holiday Inn has blackface. So like, it's just bizarre that he's in 3 movies that have this as an element. And I don't know. I didn't think it was effective enough at making its points about racism and about how we treat people and things like that to overcome just like how awkward I felt about this. And like I just thought it was like so strangely handled, because you could have the senator learn his lesson without actually becoming a black man. Like it was just so weird, I thought. But I don't know, maybe other people think it's like very eye-opening. And I mean, I know that there's been things like that Robert Downey Jr. when he did it for Tropic Thunder, is for comedy. This isn't as outright a satire. It's definitely like trying to teach a lesson. So it's like very strange. I don't know. Maybe I make too big a deal of it. What do you think? I mean, this movie's also paced kind of strangely. 2 hours 20. I think if it had been like 30 minutes shorter, it might have been more palatable. So that like this blackface part had maybe only been a small part. But yeah, then it goes on sort of these tangents with Woody and with Og and with Sharon and that are less compelling. So I didn't really like this movie. I didn't think it was that good, but it's definitely interesting. So let me know what you think of FINIAN'S Rainbow. I'd be very curious for what you think of this. Do you think it's classic, maybe outdated, but still worth watching? Do you like the songs? Where are you at on FINIAN'S Rainbow? It's certainly a very strange entry in the Francis Ford Coppola canon. So yeah, there we go. That's FINIAN'S Rainbow. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And make sure you check out my playlist with all my classic musical month reviews. I would love to hear your thoughts on all of those. That would be really fun. Also, make sure you check out Onstage Theater Blog podcast, where we are talking about all things theater and stage. It's really fun. Me and my friend Jax, a couple times a month, we're on there, and other great content on there as well. So take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. Check out the Patreon. That's the biggest way you can support everything I'm doing. And the merch store. We have I Love Musicals shirts, I Love Rom-Com shirts, and much more that you can do over there at the merch store. So check it out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.